Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
The Naked Gun didn't just break the rules, it ran them over, backed up, and hit them again. The plot made no sense, the stunts broke furniture, and Leslie Nielsen? Straight face, the whole time. It was a movie where banana peels got more screen time than logic, and somehow, it worked. These are 20 behind-the-scenes moments from The Naked Gun that are so ridiculous you'd swear they came from a fever dream. Or a rejected SNL sketch. So strap in, zip up your fly. Seriously, check it, because Drebin's world was a glorious train wreck you couldn't stop watching. Fact 1. A canceled show got the last laugh. In 1982, David Zucker launched Police Squad, a spoof so fast and full of sight gags you had to watch every second to catch the joke. And that, apparently, was the problem. ABC canceled it after just 6 episodes, claiming it required too much attention. So the creators waited, and then rebooted the exact same formula as a feature film. Same lead, same gags, same tone. But this time in a theater, people paid attention. The Naked Gun went from forgotten series to cult classic in one clean swing. Because sometimes, the only difference between a flop and a franchise is popcorn and a bigger screen.
How you doing, Trooper?
Fact 2. The title was almost criminally boring. Studio execs took one look at the title The Naked Gun and panicked. It's too weird. It sounds like an art film or something French. They pitched options like Frank Drebin, the movie, which, let's be honest, sounds like something your uncle would fall asleep watching. Zucker held his ground. He wanted a title that sounded serious but made zero sense. And The Naked Gun delivered. It didn't mean anything. And that's why it stuck. Years later, even the studio admitted he was right, because the only thing funnier than the title was how hard they tried to change it.
It was going to take all my police experience just to stay alive in here.
Fact 3. Priscilla Presley brought the banana heat. At the time, most people knew Priscilla Presley as Elvis's ex, not exactly the first name that comes to mind for deadpan comedy. But when she auditioned for Jane Spencer, she read the banana dinner scene like it was a Shakespearean tragedy. Straight face, soft voice, total conviction. The room exploded in laughter. Zucker didn't even wait. He cast her immediately. What made it work wasn't that she tried to be funny, it's that she didn't. Presley played it like she was in Casablanca, not a spoof with a fart machine in the wings. Turns out, the secret to comedy gold is treating fruit like serious business.
You're late.
That depends on what I'm late for.
Fact 4. Neielsen weaponized immaturity. Leslie Nielsen had decades of dramatic roles under his belt. He was the guy in disaster movies and courtroom dramas. So when he showed up to press events with a fart machine in his jacket pocket, people didn't know what to do. He pressed the button, keep a straight face, and keep talking. The silence made it worse and better. Zucker said he was dead serious about being ridiculous. He wasn't clowning for laughs. He was testing you. Could you survive a serious conversation while he mimicked flatulence? Most couldn't. He didn't deliver punchlines. He set traps. And then just watched you fall in. Fact 5. Real sports legends narrated the mayhem. That legendary baseball climax wasn't just Zucker's love letter to slapstick. It had actual sports royalty in the booth. Kurt Gowdy, Dick Enberg, Jim Palmer, Tim McCarver, Dick Vitale, all of them showed up. These weren't comedy actors. They were the voices of American sports, and Zucker told them, go off script. Most of them improvised their lines on the spot. That's why the game feels so real, even while the mascot's being tackled and a full-on riot breaks out. It's pure chaos, but with the gravitas of Monday Night Football. Because when Vitale says, "It's a madhouse, baby," you believe him, even if the madhouse has a tuba.
Ain't no prison yet can hold me. Attica! Attica! Howard and the brothers!
Fact 6. The Queen was a professional, just not the real one. Zucker joked about inviting the real Queen Elizabeth to appear in the movie. But just in case the whole royalty at a baseball game thing didn't fly, they called Jeanette Charles, a full-time Queen impersonator. Not part-time, not cosplay. This woman made a career out of looking exactly like Queen Elizabeth. She'd already played Her Majesty in ads, sketch shows, and comedies for decades. On set, she stayed in character the whole time, waving to fans, sipping tea, avoiding high fives. And when the crowd roared for her, she didn't blink. Because when your royal cameo needs gravitas and timing, you hire the queen of fake queens. Fact 7. Neielsen and Presley played it like a romance novel. Frank and Jane were never meant to be a cartoon couple. Zucker wanted chemistry, not caricature. And Neielsen and Presley? Total opposites on paper, but on set, they clicked like seatbelts. Presley brought poise, Neielsen brought chaos. Together, they made absurdity feel intimate. Zucker said they both understood the assignment. Play it like a drama. Their scenes work not because they were trying to be funny, but because they were trying not to be. It's Romeo and Juliet. If Juliet had feathers in her hair and Romeo wore a shoulder holster. And just like that, slapstick met sincerity and made it weirdly romantic.
Jane! Jane, will you marry me?
Yes, of course I'll marry you!
Fact 8. It was lit like a crime drama, and that's why it worked. Zucker didn't want the Naked Gun to look like a comedy, he wanted it to look like Dragnet or Hill Street Blues. Serious lighting, gritty framing, moody camera angles. The gags would come from what happened inside the frame, not how it looked. The contrast was the joke. That's why a guy flying through a window felt both cinematic and ridiculous. The movie looks like it's hunting criminals, but it's actually chasing punchlines. And those police close-ups? Shot like mugshots with a sense of dignity. Because when you treat nonsense like gospel, it hits harder than a pie to the face.
Where are you hit?
It's not that. You're on my groin.
Oh, sorry. All right, now, where is he?
Fact 9. Neielsen stayed in character even at lunch. Here's the thing about Leslie Nielsen, he didn't turn off Drebin. When the director yelled cut, he just kept going. He'd walk through craft services delivering monologues, carry a prop badge through security, and eat a sandwich like it was part of an interrogation scene. Crew members said he never broke, not on set, not between takes, not even in rehearsal. He wasn't playing Drebin, he was Drebin. Zucker once said working with him was like trying to direct a statue that occasionally winked. If method acting had a comedy cousin, it would have worn a gray suit and caused property damage.
Bend over and pick it up for me.
No problem.
Fact 10. The poster was a joke and a statement. That iconic image, Frank Drebin riding a giant bullet like a cowboy, that wasn't just marketing. That was Zucker parodying every action movie one sheet of the 80s. Stallone had motorcycles, Norris had tanks, Schwarzenegger had helicopters. So what did Drebin get? A bullet duct taped to absurdity. The art department thought it was a mock-up. Zucker said, nope, that's the one. And just like that, the poster told you everything. It's serious, it's stupid, it's perfect. People bought the VHS just for the cover, because when your lead character looks that heroic on a bullet, you know he's not hitting the target.
Cigarette?
Yes, I know.
Well,
Fact 11. David Zucker's mom was in on the joke. That scene with Vincent Ludwig's icy secretary, that's not a professional actress. That's Charlotte Zucker, David Zucker's real-life mom. She had no formal training, no agent, and no interest in showbiz until her son handed her a script. She walked in, played Dominique with stone-faced sass, and walked out a legend. She went on to appear in both sequels. She even got recognized in public. The line, "Yes, Mr. Ludwig," became her calling card at family gatherings. Zucker once said, She had better timing than most actors we auditioned, because sometimes the funniest person in the room gave birth to the director. Fact 12. Montalban drew the line at one joke. Ricardo Montalban was game for almost anything. He played the villain with Shakespearean focus. Every line like it came from a courtroom. But there was one gag he didn't love. A throwaway joke involving the Virgin Mary. As a devout Catholic, Montalban politely asked for it to be changed. Zucker agreed without hesitation. The rest of his performance stayed untouched, smooth, commanding, and deeply out of place, in the best possible way. That's what made it work. And just like that, the classiest man in the room rewrote the punchline without raising his voice.
Unbreakable.
The murder of one of your dock workers. A man named Nordberg,
Fact 13. The Dodgers said no to the madness. Zucker originally wanted the baseball finale to feature the Los Angeles Dodgers. Hometown heroes, big fan base, iconic uniforms. But the team didn't want any part of a riot scene, even a fake one. So they pivoted to the California Angels and Seattle Mariners. That's why the movie looks like it's happening in a parallel universe where baseball players act like cartoon villains. Funny enough, it made the scene even more absurd. The lesser-known teams gave the filmmakers more freedom to be chaotic. Because when the real team says no, the fake game gets even funnier. Fact 14. The banana scene was never a joke, until it was. That banana dinner scene? 100% scripted, 0% played for laughs. Zucker told Neielsen and Presley to perform it with sincerity, as if they were in a courtroom drama or a telenovela. No mugging, no double takes, just full commitment. That's why it works. Presley hands over a banana like she's handing over state secrets. Neielsen accepts it like he's been betrayed. It's ridiculous, but it's filmed like Casablanca. When you aim for drama and land in absurdity, you've found comedy gold.
I can't tell you that.
Well, maybe this'll help.
I really don't think I should.
Yeah, you still don't think so?
All right, his name is Nordberg.
Fact 15. Neielsen did his own falls with style. Leslie Nielsen wasn't just a face. He was a full-body performer. He didn't let stunt guys take the hits for him. He fell through windows. He stumbled over furniture. He wiped out on linoleum like he was auditioning for America's Funniest Home Videos. But he did it with dignity. You'd see him fly across a room and still land with gravitas. Zucker said he moved like a man trying to solve a crime in a bouncy castle. Because when the guy delivering the punchline also takes the fall, you don't cut, you frame it. Fact 16. Montalban played it like Shakespeare, and that's why it worked. Ricardo Montalban didn't treat The Naked Gun like a comedy. He treated it like a tragedy. Every line, delivered with the weight of a man about to take over the galaxy. Zucker cast him because of Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. That gravitas, that menace. They wanted that in a movie with banana jokes, and it worked. Montalban never broke, never smirked, never acknowledged the madness around him, which made it even funnier. Sometimes the best thing you can do in a comedy is act like you're not in one. Fact 17. Shot in 10 weeks. Pure LA madness. The movie was shot in just 10 weeks across Los Angeles. No soundstage fantasy. This was all real locations. Government buildings, stadiums, downtown streets. The baseball scenes shot at Dodger Stadium, even though the Dodgers said, "Don't use our name." That decision grounded the absurdity. It felt real because it was real. And when Drebin skids across a dinner table in front of 20 confused background actors, that's not set design. That's chaos in a rented banquet hall. Don't fake this kind of madness. You get permits and pray the neighbors don't call the cops.
Please disperse! Nothing to see here, please!
Fact 18. It made over $150 million on a joke. For a film built on wordplay and rubber chickens, The Naked Gun made serious money. It grossed over $150 million worldwide in 1988. That's Die Hard territory. Zuckers' team took a canceled show, a confused studio, a bunch of rejected stunts, and turned it into box office gold. People didn't just watch it, they went back, and then brought their friends. Comedy usually doesn't travel. This one did. The only thing more surprising than how dumb it looked was how smart the returns were. Fact 19. Critics and the crowd agreed. It's rare when critics and regular folks laugh at the same thing, but The Naked Gun pulled it off. Rotten Tomatoes score? Over 85%. Cinema score? A-. Even Roger Ebert gave it props for precision. Audiences quoted it endlessly. Lines like, "Nice beaver," became water cooler material. The movie didn't try to impress anyone. It just went all in on the dumb and found genius in the timing. Turns out there's a fine line between slapstick and symphony, and Zucker had the sheet music.
Fact 20. Nielsen made deadpan a superpower. Before Airplane and The Naked Gun, Leslie Nielsen played captains, doctors, detectives, always serious, always square-jawed. Then one day, someone asked, what if he kept that face and delivered nonsense? He didn't wink, he didn't sell the joke, he let the world around him fall apart and kept the same tone you'd use to read a eulogy. That became his superpower. He didn't reinvent himself, he recontextualized. And the audience couldn't get enough. He didn't break character, he broke the rules. Silently, in loafers.
Follow that black car! The car! Follow that car!
Signal. Now pull into traffic.
Bonus fact. The movie inspired a real police squad reunion. After the film's success, several real-life police departments held Police Squad Appreciation Days, complete with parody skits, banana handoffs, and even Drebin lookalike contests. Zucker got letters from cops saying the movie helped them laugh at the chaos of their jobs. Some departments still use Drebin clips during training, what not to do during a press conference. When parody reflects reality, even the badge cracks a smile. So if you just laughed, smiled, or remembered a banana scene you can't unsee, hit that subscribe button. This was The Naked Gun, a movie where the jokes hit hard, the falls hit harder, and the actors pretended like none of it was funny. Because in a world full of forced punchlines and polished blockbusters, sometimes the funniest thing you can do is play it absolutely straight and let the chaos do the work.